Hi guys, welcome to my channel IT Support People. This is SK Masudana and I'm a Cisco Certified Network Associate for routing and switching. Today I'll show you how to connect a Cisco router and switch to the home ISP router or Netgear and how to access internet using this network. So let's get started. Now I will show you the network topology of this network. You can see here this one is a home router, ADSL router, and which is connected to the internet or ISP connection. And here you can see this one is our Cisco router and this one is Cisco switch, and these two are PCs. One is my laptop and another one is my desktop PC. So what we will do, we will connect a Cat5 cable to the LAN port of this ADSL router, and the other end of that Cat5 cable to the gigabit Ethernet port 0/0 of the router, and we will configure the gigabit 0/1 port of the router, and we will create a DHCP pool here, and we'll configure some other stuffs I will show you later, and then we will connect this gigabit 0/1 Ethernet port to the fast Ethernet port of this switch, and this is a layer 3 switch, so all ports are belongs to VLAN 1 of this switch. I'll talk it later, and I'll explain it later. And we will connect a laptop to the fast Ethernet 0/3 port of the switch, and a desktop PC to the fast Ethernet 0/5 port of this switch. So I'll go to the next step. So now I will give you a quick overview of my Cisco router. You can see that it's a Cisco 2800 series router, and here is the power connection cord, and next to this there is a power switch, and here this is the console port. It's a RJ45 port. Actually this port is used for configuring router. You can connect a console cable to this port and other end to the computer or laptop, and you can locally administrate this router or configure the router or reset password, and so many things. Next to this there is an auxiliary port. This is also a RJ45 port. This port normally used for remotely configuring this router. You have to connect a RJ45 connector here, and the other end you have to connect through the modem. Then you can remotely configure this router. And next to this you can see two USB port, and after the USB port you can see here is a flash memory card for this router. I'll show you. If you press here, sorry, if you press here, it will come out. Here it is. You can see a Cisco flash memory 64 megabit. I'll put it back. Yes, okay. Now I'll give you the other end of this router. I'll show you the other end of this router. So now I will show you the other end of this router. Here you can see 2 gigabit Ethernet port, GE 0/0 and GE 0/1. Actually these 2 gigabit port are 1000 megabit per second bandwidth port. Normally the connection from ISP goes to any one of this port. For example, if you connect the connection from ISP to gigabit 0/0 port, then the connection from 0/1 will go to the switch. For this video we will use only these two ports, but I will show you a basic overview of the other ports. Here you can see for VIC24FXO, these are voice interface card, foreign exchange office. These are RJ11 port. This RJ11 port connects to analog network. Normally this connection goes to main central station of PST network or PBX system. Next to this you can see VWIC2 to MFP T1 E1. These are mainly multiplex trunk voice or one interface card. Actually these two ports are RJ48 port which supports voice and data for these multi-service routers, and these two ports support both E1 and T1 switch. And next to this you can see a serial port which is used for one connection. So basically these are the main overview of this Cisco 2851 router, and we will only use these two ports for this network. Now I'll give you the quick overview of my switch. Here you can see that it's a Cisco Catalyst 3560 PoE24 port switch, and here you can see 24 ports, and these ports are grouped in a pair. For example, this first one is port 1, and the bottom one is port 2, and the next one is port 3, and the bottom one port 4, similarly port 5 and port 6, and up to 23rd port, and the next one is 24th port. These are fast Ethernet port. The bandwidth is 100 Mbps, and the next two ports are a gigabit Ethernet SFP module which establish optical fiber network, and they use empty RJ connector for establishing optical fiber network. Basically we will not use this two port for this video. We only use this 24 port fast Ethernet port. So now I'll show you the backside of my switch. Now I'll show you the backside of my Cisco switch. Here you can see the power cord connection port, and next to this here is the DC input for remote power supply. And then another important thing is this is the console port. You can use RJ45 cable, console cable, and the other end to the PC to configure this switch. And this is a layer 3 switch which supports some routing protocol, and as well as it supports inter-VLAN routing. So next I will go to the next step. Now I will turn the router on. Yes, now it's started. You can see the green light and the noise of the fan. Now you can see this is my ADSL home router. This is the front side, and this is the back side of my router. Here you can see a cable. This cable comes from ISP network, and which is connected in the DSL port, and there is 4 YOLO LAN port, LAN 1 to 4, and there is a 1 port and 1 USB port. So I will use any of the LAN port, LAN 1 to 4. I'll take one connection from LAN 1 to the gigabit port of my router to the 0/0 port of the router. Now this is the other end of this Cat5 cable. So now I will connect this end to the gigabit 0/0 port of my router. You can see I'll take the other end to my router's 0/0 port. You can see the router is running. So you can see the 0/0. So I will connect this in to here. You can see the light is flashing now, so that port is active now. Now I will give power to the switch. This is the power cable. Now I will connect this cable to the power port of my switch. Yes, now you can see the switch is turning on. It will take some time to get power all of the ports. It's taking time. Now I will connect the gigabit port 0/1 to the switch. You can see the gigabit 0/1 port. Now I am connecting one Cat5 cable here. Yes, and the other end of this Cat5 cable will go to the first port of my switch. So actually you can't see any flashlight because I haven't done any configuration. So you can see the light flashing in the gigabit Ethernet 0/0 because it is connected with the live network with my home router. Next I will connect my laptop with the switch, with this switch by Cat5 cable. So I'm showing again. So I'll connect to my laptop Ethernet port. Yes, and the other end of this cable will go to the switch, for example port 3. Yes, you can see the light has already changed, and I will connect my another desktop PC with this switch. Okay, I have another Cat5 cable, so I will connect it to my desktop PC's Ethernet port. And the other end will go to the switch next to port 3 is port 5. If you heard the sound, that's okay. Now I'll show you how to connect the console cable from router's console port to the PC's or laptop's USB port. Here you can see that this is a console cable. It has the one end is RJ45 connector. You can see this is a RJ45 connector which will go to the console port of the router, and the other end is a DB9 serial port. It's a DB9 female serial port which will go to the laptop or PC. So basically the new laptops have no serial port, so we need another adapter to connect the serial port. This is a serial to USB adapter. We need this adapter to connect the serial port. This is a male serial port, DB9 male serial port. You can see here. This will connect the female serial port. So yes, we just connect this adapter to this serial to USB converter. Yes, here it is. So now I will connect the RJ45 connector to the Cisco console port. You can see I just connected the RJ45 port here, and the USB port I will connect to my laptop's USB port. Here it is. So now I just connected the console cable from router to my laptop. To connect the Cisco router with this laptop, to configure, you need a emulator terminal like PuTTY. I prefer PuTTY. So you can download this open source software. You can download this PuTTY software from the internet. You just go to Google and type download PuTTY for Windows 10 64-bit. Yeah, you can check www.putty.org. You can go to that website and download PuTTY. You can go to download PuTTY, click here, and I prefer the exe format. So you scroll down here, and my system is 64-bit, so I will choose putty.exe for 64-bit. Just click here. It will be showing a prompt. You can save the file. So if you go to download here, yeah, it's downloading. Yeah, it's completed. So you can go to download and just set up. So it's already been set up in my laptop, so I'm just showing you the process, and I just cancel it. Now I will access the Cisco router using my laptop. So using my laptop and the emulator terminal software PuTTY. So before doing this, I have to check the port number. So I'll just type here device manager. Yeah, device manager. So go to device manager and go to the COM port. Here you can see the USB to serial port is connected to the COM4 port. So yeah, now I have to open PuTTY. Yes, then I have to click the serial. Make sure the speed is 9600. So I have to write here the COM port 4. So then open. Here it is. We have to press enter. Here we can see we already entered the router. Then we have to go to the enable mode, EN. If we press tab, it will take full form. Then enter. Yes, we can enter the router. We successfully access the router using this console cable. Now I will configure the router and just go to enable mode, enable, and first I'll check the interface of this router. So show IP interface brief. We press tab. You can see there is two interface, gigabit Ethernet port 0/0 and gigabit Ethernet port 0/1, and you can see the IP address and the method DHCP, because the port 0/1 is already connected to the home ISP router, so it's getting IP address from the DHCP. So now we will go to global configuration mode. You can see the picture here. First I will configure this gigabit 0/0 port for I will put IP address here. So configuration terminal. So then I'll interface. I'll go to interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So I will up this interface. No shutdown. Then I'll put the IP address using DHCP. So I have to write IP, just DH, then you can press tab, DHCP. Sorry, IP address, DHCP. Now you can see it will take IP from DHCP. Yes, it's showing that 192.168.1.3. So then yeah, we can check the connection. We can ping to the Google server, exit. So ping 8.8.8.8 is a Google DNS server. Sorry, it's in configuration mode, so I have to exit, or I can write do ping 8.8.8.8. yeah, it's showing it's success for ping with Google server, DNS server. Okay, exit. Sorry, no. Now I will put IP address this gigabit 0/1 port of this router. I will make the interface up and put a different IP address. So let's start. Enter the global configuration mode, configuration terminal. Okay, I will enter the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Okay, here I will put a different IP address, different network. IP address, it's the private IP address 192.168.2.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. You can see here I put the IP address different network 192.168.2.1, and I got the IP from the DHCP, that was 192.168.1.3. It's one network, and this is 192.168.2.1. this is a different network. Okay, so no I need to up the interface, no shutdown. Yes, and you can see the gigabit 0/1 port is up. So exit. Now we'll check again the IP interface. Exit, show IP interface brief. Now you can see the gigabit Ethernet port 0/0. It's already taken the IP from the DHCP 192.168.1.3, and I put the IP address in gigabit Ethernet port 0/1 192.168.2.1, and both status are up. Now you can see the both gigabit port lights are flashing. Before only the gigabit 0/0 port was flashing. Now I made the interface 0/1 up, and I put IP address in that port, so now both port are flashing. I will create a DHCP pool for the network 192.168.2.0 network, and I'll make this gigabit 0/1 port as a default router. So let's do this. Need to enter the global configuration mode, conf terminal. Now I have to write IP DHCP pool, IP/DHCP pool. I have to give a name, for example main user. So you can see it already entered the DHCP configuration. To configure the DHCP pool, you have to provide the network address, including the subnet and default router IP address and DNS server IP address. So first I'll provide the network address. The network 192.168.2.0/24, and default router 192.168.2.1. Yes, I have to provide the DNS server. I don't have any DNS server, so I'll use Google DNS server. So DNS server 8.8.8.8. okay, now exit. So now I have to apply a static routing to route through the gateway of the home router. So I'll give the static routing command, IP route 0.0.0.0.0.0.0, and you know the default gateway we've already checked. I can show you. If you go to command prompt, typing cmd, yes, if you type here ipconfig, here you can see the default gateway. Is 192.168.1.1, because I haven't connected this laptop to the router yet. Still this laptop is connected with the Wi-Fi router. So the default gateway is 192.168.1.1. so now we can check the connectivity with the default gateway of the ISP router. So ping, so do ping 192.168.1.1. yeah, it's successful. Now I have to create net inside and net outside network address translator. I will create interface gigabit, this interface gigabit 0/0 as a net outside source, and gigabit 0/1 as a net inside source. Okay, so interface is still in configuration mode, global configuration mode. Now interface gigabit 0/0 IP net outside, it will take some time. Okay, it is done. Now exit. Now I will configure the NAT inside in gigabit Ethernet port 0/1. So interface gigabit 0/1 and IP NAT inside exit. Now I will create a access list. So type IP access list. If you press tab, it will come up. Access list standard 1. You can see the configuration of standard network access list 1. I have to give the permission. Permit, I will give any permission, permit any, then exit. Okay, now I have to overload the IP NAT inside source. So now I will overload the IP NAT inside. IP NAT inside source. The list we already created, list 1, and it will overload the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and overload. So yeah, that's all done. So the configuration in the router part is done. So now we will check the connection of the we'll check the connection of the PC to the router. We'll ping and we'll use the internet. Okay, now we enter the switch. Basically we haven't done anything with the switch. We just we did all configuration in the router part. Now I will take out the console cable from the router and put it in the console port of my switch to access the switch. Okay, the console port of the switch in the back side of the switch, you can see. Yes. Now I will access the switch through this party. Yes, we access the switch. We'll go to enable mode. Enable. It's a layer 3 managed switch. So now we'll check the interface. Show IP interface brief. Yeah, it is showing the interface VLAN 1. It's a managed layer 3 switch. So all the ports, port 1 to 24 belongs to VLAN 1, and anywhere of this in any port, if I connect any laptop or PC, any of the port, it will take the IP from the DHCP pool we created in gigabit 0/1 port. So let's check the VLAN. Show VLAN. Basically I haven't done anything in this switch. It's a managed switch. I just checking the interface and the VLAN, Now I will check the now I will connect my PC to the router, the Cisco router, and then we will check the internet connectivity. Now I will connect this laptop to this network, newly created network, and now I will connect. So right click here, open network sharing center, channels adapter setting. You can see currently it's connected to Wi-Fi router. Now I disable this Wi-Fi connection. Now I will enable the Ethernet connection, which is connected to this Cisco router. Yeah, now it's enabling and identifying the IP address. To check the properties, still identifying. Yeah, it's connected to the network. It's showing network 4. So now I will check the IP address. CMD IP config. Yeah, it's showing the IP address of a network from network 2, 192.168.2.3, and the default gateway is the default router 192.168.2.1. Okay, now I'll check the internet connection. Go to Firefox and browse YouTube. Okay, I'll play one video. Here's video. Yes. Working. So yes, this piece is this laptop is connected to the internet through the Cisco router, Cisco switch and Cisco router. Now I will connect this desktop PC to this network. So to do this, I have to go to right click in the internet option, open network and internet setting. Here I have to go to network and sharing center and change adapter setting. You can see the Ethernet port here. So right click here, just enable. So identifying the network. Takes some time. Yes, it is now connected to the network 4. So you can check here, this icon has changed. So now we will check the internet connection by browsing through internet. We'll open Chrome browser and go to YouTube. Here you can see the YouTube is connected. Now we'll play a video. Here's video. Okay, yeah, just play a random video. Okay, it's running. So yeah, that means this PC is also connected to the network. If we check the IP address of this PC, so just write cmd. So here is the command prompt. So if we just type IP config, that's it. Here we can see the IP address is 192.168.2.4, which is the IP address under the network 2.0, and the default gateway is 192.168.2.1. So this is the another PC of this network. If you think this video is helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and you can let me know any queries through comments. Your little appreciation will inspire me to make the next video. Thanks for watching.